I remember growing up putting together projects for the school's annual science fair. My Aunt Ama generously helped me produce several of these. One year I tested water quality, another I examined coal samples. These projects were enormous, time-consuming affairs. If you ask my mom, she'll tell you it's what she hated most about being a parent of a school-aged child. Science fair projects were the bane of her existence. They were complicated, often took up a lot of space in the house, and in the end, asked a lot of a family. "Hey, Mom, have you seen my water fleas?" As disrupting to life as those experiments were, our teachers were trying to demonstrate something important. They were trying to teach us how to be good thinkers, how to use reason and logic to construct opinions and theories about things that would help us navigate life. They were trying to help us learn how to think critically. Critical thinking is an essential skill, and one might say that it's one of the most important things a school can teach. Anyone can come up with a theory about something, anyone can make a claim, but hypotheses must be tested, and not just in any willy-nilly way. Experiments have guidelines to obtain reliable outcomes. One of the lessons I learned in my science fair days was about the different types of variables. Our teachers advised us as young scientists to define these clearly from the outset. Testing one variable at a time would be key. More than one independent variable would prevent us from seeing what was responsible for the results we got. In a way, the parable we read today describes a type of experiment founded on this principle. Jesus tells of a harvest with varied outcomes. Now, there are lots of things that could have influenced the deviations: the amount of light or water, the type of plant species used, or perhaps different atmospheric temperatures. However, what's being tested in this experiment is soil. It is the independent variable, the one manipulated by the experimenter. What remains constant, or at least what experiences the same factors, is the seed. What Jesus tells us later is the word of the kingdom. In this experiment, the quality or type of substrate used to house the seeds appears to have affected growth. The outcomes demonstrate that it matters where one plants stuff. The performances of the seeds vary according to the soil types, and Jesus tells us what kinds of soil were snuffing out green growth. He says, an inability to cognize, an unwillingness to conduct wide-ranging examinations with focus and attention is dangerous. Jesus warned his disciples about this, and so did my science teachers. These are the enemies of good analysis. So what is good soil? Jesus tells his disciples, this is the one who hears the word and understands it. And in this story, he gives a clue as to what type of understanding he might be talking about. This parable's construction is a framework of disciplined thinking that's clear, rational, and informed by evidence, something any science teacher would be proud of. The parable doesn't just evaluate soil quality. Its coherent, reasoned structure points to what good soil is. In an age where many are cut off from others, from interaction and challenge, might we need to be reminded of the importance of having a fertile, active mind? The soils of the 21st century in which seeds are planted are sometimes numb and apathetic to the needs of others, with a blind nostalgia for the way things used to be, but in reality, of course, never really were. It is soil littered with erroneous, misguided conspiracy theories, an injurious substratum of false claims unsubstantiated out of sheer laziness, stubbornness, or impropriety. In this perverse fecundity, misinformation spreads. History is rewritten to suit one's own requirements. A ground like this doesn't nurture coherent, sound outcomes. It, says Jesus, yields nothing. The ability to be active in learning, questioning ideas and arguments and findings, to create structured, reasoned arguments, to use logic, these are the makings of the good soil laid out in this parable. The one who hears and understands bears fruit, producing a harvest beyond one's wildest dreams. If we want that to be us, let us strive by testing and trying. Let us receive the words of the kingdom with minds ready to think well.